Good morning children. Welcome back to Social Studies tutorial. So students, we are learning second chapter of geography, land, soil and water resources. And as you all know that in our last class we have completed land resources, which covered up the land resources at a larger extent. That means we have done that what the land resources are, its classification and the uses of land along with the conservation measures. So in today's session we are going to learn about soil resources. So students, first let's learn about the soil, that what the soil is. So students, soil is the grainy substance covering the surface of the earth. This is the layer of grainy substance covering the surface of the earth. As the type of soil depends upon the type of land, because landforms mix to the soil which is which consists organic matter, minerals and weathered rocks. So students, here we have to be very clear with the fact that organic matter and minerals both indicates the fertility of soil, whereas weathered rock provides the basis. So now let's understand what weathering is. So weathering is a process of breaking up or disintegration of exposed rocks by certain factors. These factors are temperature change, frost actions, plant, animals and man. So now students, let's learn about soil profile, that what is a soil profile. So students, what exactly happens, that there are the different layers of the soil. So these layers are known as the horizon. These layers are known as the soil horizon. So the arrangement of these soil horizon is known as soil profile, or we can say that the manner in which these soil horizons are arranged is known as soil profile. So let's understand the concept of soil profile with the help of this diagram. So students, you can see that there is the upper layer. Though this is thin, but it is very important as it decides the fertility of the soil. So what exactly this upper layer of the soil is known as the topsoil. Then here is the second layer. This is known as the subsoil and consisted of sand, silt and clay. Then the next is the weathered rocks, and the last layer is the parent rocks. Now let's discuss these layers of soil profile in detail. Topsoil, which is indicated by A, is the layer which is dark in color and has a fine texture. It has a high content of organic matter or humus and is vital for plant growth. Then the second layer is known as subsoil, which is made up of sand, silt and clay. This is the layer just below the topsoil and consists of sand, silt and clay, but has only minor amounts of organic matter. It provides intermediate bases. Then the next is weathered rock material or parent material. This is indicated by capital C and usually consists of unconsolidated rock material from which the topsoil and subsoil layers have been formed. This zone has no humus, nor does it have any soil structures. Then the last is parent rocks, which provides base to the kind of weathered rock and subsoil or topsoil. This layer lies at some depth below the parent material or the weathered rock material and consists of solid rocks. Now let's understand the factors of soil formation. So students, there are some factors which contribute to soil formation. These are parent rock. So what exactly, like how parent rock contribute to the soil formation, as it is quite helpful to determine color, texture, chemical properties, minerals and permeability. Then climate. Climate also plays an important role in soil formation, because the climatic factor like temperature and rainfall just decides the level of humus or the weathering. Then relief features. Altitude and slope determine the accumulation of soil. Then the next is flora, fauna and microorganisms. Then the next is time. Time also contribute to the soil formation, as it decides the thickness of soil. So these were the factors of soil formation. Now let's come to the next point, that is soils of India. So now students, let's learn that what kind of soils are available there in our country. So the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, the Indian Council of Agricultural Research has classified the soil available in our country into different types on the basis of different factors like their color, texture, and the availability of minerals, etc. These are alluvial soil, black soil, red soil, laterite soil, arid and sandy soils, and the last is peaty and forest soil. So now let's discuss these types of soil in detail. Alluvial soil is rich and fertile soil which is formed by the depositional action of rivers. As you all know that the rivers transport eroded material from their higher reaches and deposit this material on their banks as they reach to the plains. So the alluvial soil occurs mainly in the Satluj, Ganga and Brahmaputra plain. It is also found in the valleys of the Narmada, Tapi and in the eastern and western coastal plains. It varies in colors from light grey to ash and suitable for rice, maize, wheat, sugarcane and oil seeds. It is mainly divided into two subcategories, that is Khadar and Bangar. Now let's understand the black soil is also known as the cotton soil or ragged soil. This soil is formed from rock of Cretaceous lava, thus it is found in and around lava plateaus. It swells when it is wet and contracts when dry, so it develops wide crack during summers. The soil is highly rich in iron, lime, calcium, potash, magnesium and aluminium. It retains high waters, so it is very good for the cultivation of cotton, tobacco, cereals, pulses, oil seeds, citrus fruits, castor, vegetables and linseeds. It is mainly found in basaltic Deccan Plateau in the states of Maharashtra, MP, parts of Gujarat and Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, UP and parts of Rajasthan. Now the next is red soil. Red soil is red and sandy in color. The reason of redness of the soil is the presence of iron oxide. In the lowlands, it is normally fertile, but in the dry uplands, these are less fertile. Red soil is mainly found in peninsula from Tamil Nadu in the south to the Bundelkhand in the north and Rajmahal in the east to Kathiawar in the west. Red soil is very good for the production of or the cultivation of wheat, cotton, pulses, millets, orchards, potato and oil seeds. The next is laterite soil. Laterite soil is formed due to intense leaching, means when the water washes out the soil nutrients in the regions of high rainfall. It is not fertile as humus washed away to make it, and just to make it cultivable it has to be treated with fertilizers. It is used for growing jute, millets, fodder crop, etc. It is very soft when wet and hard and cloudy on drying. Mainly it is found in hills of the Western Ghats, Rajmahal Hills, Eastern Ghats, Satpura, Vindhya, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, North Chachar Hills, etc. This and aluminium and suitable for the cultivation of rice, ragi, sugarcane, cashew nuts, etc. Now the next is arid and sandy soil. Arid and sandy soil is mainly found in the dry regions and it differs in the colors from dark reddish brown to the pastel brown. It contains low moisture and humus and mainly found in western Rajasthan. The next is peat and forest soil, which is mainly found in the regions of dense vegetation. This soil is very rich in humus. It is mainly found in the forests of Jharkhand, Bihar, Uttaranchal and in the evergreen forests of Western Ghats. So students, these were the broad categories of the soils found in India, and this classification is given by the Indian Council of Agriculture and Research. So I hope you enjoyed the session. We'll discuss the conservation of soil and its measures in our next session. Till the time, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.